Happiness is not something you find. It is something you prepare for, beloved ones. Happiness is not a thing that you can search for in the marketplace of the world. It is not something that can be purchased, achieved, or collected. Happiness is not a goal. It is a climate, an inner atmosphere that you prepare within yourself. I have watched people for many years. Everyone wants to be happy, but very few want to live in a way that allows happiness to happen. They want the result, but they are not interested in the process. They want flowers, but they do not want to take care of the soil. From my own experience, I can tell you this. Happiness has nothing to do with circumstances. I have lived in simplicity, and I have lived surrounded by comfort, and in both situations happiness was possible, and in both situations misery was possible. The difference was never outside, it was always inside. The mistake humanity makes is thinking that happiness will come tomorrow. Tomorrow after success, tomorrow after love, tomorrow after security, and so today is wasted, but happiness never comes tomorrow. It comes only when you are totally present. That is why the morning is so significant. The way you begin your day decides the rhythm of your consciousness for the next 24 hours. If you wake up in a rush, immediately worried, immediately planning, immediately reacting, you have already chosen unhappiness. In my life, I treated the morning as sacred time. Before meeting anyone else, I met myself. Before entering the world, I entered silence. This was not discipline, it was love. Love for my own being. Happiness is not created by doing more. It is created by being more aware. A man who is aware even while doing nothing is closer to happiness than a man who is constantly busy. People ask me, why are you so peaceful? I tell them because I do not fight life. I cooperate with it. And cooperation begins when you stop forcing the day to be something and allow it to reveal itself. If you start the morning unconsciously, you live the whole day like a sleepwalker. And the sleepwalker cannot be happy, he can only dream. So remember, beloved ones, happiness is not waiting somewhere far away. It is waiting in how you wake up, how you breathe, how you touch this moment. Prepare the morning, and happiness will take care of the rest. Every morning, first meet yourself in silence. Beloved ones, the first practice that can bring happiness into your day is simple, yet most people never do it. The first thing every morning, before speaking, before thinking, before moving, is to meet yourself in silence. Sit with yourself, watch your breath, feel your body, be present. That is all. No technique is needed, no goal is required. Just be. I have spent many years sitting in the early mornings when the world was still asleep. There is a magic in those moments. The air is still, the mind is quieter, the heart is open. In that silence you meet the truth of yourself. You see who you really are, not the masks that the world has taught you to wear. Most people begin their day with noise. The alarm rings, the mind immediately jumps to worries, to the list of tasks, to the past and the future. And the moment is lost. And when the moment is lost, so is happiness. You cannot grasp happiness with a distracted mind. Happiness only arises when you are fully present. Silence in the morning is not emptiness. It is fullness. It is the soil in which the flowers of your day can grow. When you sit silently even for a few minutes, the mind begins to settle. Yesterday's confusion disappears. Tomorrow's anxieties have not yet arrived. You are simply here, awake and aware. In my own life, I began each day with meditation, not as a ritual but as a conversation with existence. I did not sit to achieve something. I sat to meet myself. And from that meeting, joy arose naturally. Peace arose naturally. And I carried that peace into everything I did, because it was not dependent on circumstances. It came from the depth of being. Beloved ones, when you meet yourself in silence every morning, you also learn to meet the world differently. You no longer react from old patterns. You respond from awareness. And this is the essence of happiness. Reacting from habit produces tension, but responding from awareness produces joy. Even if your life is full of problems, even if responsibilities are heavy, this practice will create an inner refuge. You carry it with you. It does not depend on anyone else. It does not depend on conditions. Silence becomes your companion. And a companion like that makes life lighter, richer, more harmonious. So when you wake up tomorrow, do not immediately rush into action. Do not reach for the phone. Do not plan the day. Do not solve anything. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Watch your breath. Feel the body. Let the mind be a mirror reflecting your own existence. That is the first step toward happiness. Happiness begins when you meet yourself. If you skip yourself, if you forget yourself, the whole day becomes a chase without a destination. But if you begin with silence, the rest of the day flows naturally, effortlessly, joyfully. Every morning, drop yesterday completely, beloved ones. The second practice that prepares you for happiness is even more subtle, yet more powerful than you imagine. Every morning you must consciously drop yesterday. Let it go. Yesterday belongs to the dead. It cannot live in today. And yet most people carry the past like a heavy burden, dragging it into every moment of their life. Old mistakes, old regrets, old resentments, these chains suffocate the heart and cloud the mind. I have lived long enough to understand this deeply. Many years ago, I carried memories that were heavy, shadows that were unnecessary. I used to replay old hurts again and again, thinking that somehow remembering them would teach me a lesson or fix what had been broken. But remembering only created suffering. One morning I realized that yesterday is finished. Nothing can bring it back. Nothing can change it. The moment I let it go, I felt a lightness that I had never known before. Dropping yesterday is not forgetting. Forgetting is mechanical. Dropping is conscious. It is an acknowledgement that the past has nothing more to give. And when you begin the day with this acknowledgement, you free yourself to live fully in the present. You are no longer dragging invisible weights on your back. You are free. Beloved ones, notice carefully how people behave. They wake up carrying complaints from yesterday. They wake up with arguments unfinished, wounds unreconciled, failures replayed in their minds, and then they wonder why they are unhappy. Happiness cannot flourish in soil filled with yesterday's decay. Happiness comes only when the soil is clean, ready, open. In my own life, this practice became a foundation for joy. Every morning, I would sit in silence and quietly say inside, I release yesterday. I do not need it. It is done. And in that simple act, I discovered something extraordinary. Life becomes a river, flowing freely, because nothing blocks it. Yesterday was a dam, and now it is gone. When you drop yesterday completely, you also stop punishing yourself. You stop judging yourself for what you did or what you failed to do. You stop blaming others for what they did or what they did not do. Judgment creates tension. Blame creates anger. But when you drop yesterday, you step into spaciousness. You step into peace. And happiness begins there. Not because the world has changed, not because circumstances are better, but because your relationship with life has changed. You are no longer fighting shadows. You are meeting reality directly. Beloved ones, the mind wants to drag you backward, but you can choose differently. Each morning, let go of yesterday completely. Do it gently, lovingly, without forcing. Simply acknowledge it. Release it. Let the present moment be born anew. Happiness arises not in chasing the future, not in clinging to the past, but in living now, fully, consciously, free from yesterday. And that, beloved ones, is the power of this practice. Every morning, move your body with awareness. Beloved ones, the third practice that can bring happiness into your life is movement. But it is not movement as a duty or as exercise done mechanically. It is movement done with awareness, with presence, with love for your own body. Every morning, you must move, stretch, breathe, awaken your senses and let the body remind you that it is alive. The body is not separate from the mind. It is not just a machine. It is your temple, your companion, your first teacher. I have spent countless mornings sitting quietly and then moving, allowing my body to awaken slowly, letting the breath flow, letting the muscles remember their natural flexibility. And I discovered that when the body is awake, the mind awakens too. Energy begins to flow. Tension dissolves. Happiness enters naturally. Most people in the world treat the body as if it is only a burden. They ignore it, abuse it, or try to control it artificially. And then they wonder why life feels heavy, why they are tired, why joy is always elusive. A stagnant body creates a stagnant mind. A rigid body produces a rigid mind, and a rigid mind cannot know happiness. But movement in the morning does not have to be complex. Simple stretching, slow breathing, walking in nature, or even gentle dance is enough. But it must be done consciously. Notice each breath. Notice each sensation. Allow your body to communicate. Listen to it. Be grateful to it for carrying you, for supporting you, for being the vessel of your consciousness. I have always believed that movement is meditation in action. When you watch your body as it moves, you are observing life itself. You are becoming aware of the rhythm, the energy, the flow. The body becomes a mirror of consciousness, and through it, you can taste the harmony of existence. Beloved ones, remember this. Unhappiness often hides in the body as tension, stiffness, lethargy, or heaviness. When you awaken the body in the morning, you awaken the spirit too. The heart becomes lighter, the mind becomes clearer, and a gentle joy begins to arise from deep within. Even small moments of conscious movement create a ripple throughout the day. A simple stretch, a mindful step, a deep breath can transform your entire state of being. It is like lighting a lamp. Once the lamp is lit, darkness cannot remain. So do not neglect your body in the morning. Move it, celebrate it, dance with it. Allow it to remind you that you are alive, that life is here, that happiness is not a distant goal. It is already available within this living, breathing form. Beloved ones, happiness begins in the body as much as it begins in the mind. A body in harmony creates a mind in harmony, and a harmonious mind naturally knows joy. Every morning, choose one simple act of gratitude. Beloved ones, the fourth practice for happiness is one of the most powerful yet most overlooked. Every morning, choose one simple act of gratitude. Do not wait for a reason. Do not wait for something extraordinary to happen. Simply feel thankful for being alive. I have lived long enough to see how people misunderstand gratitude. They say, I will be grateful when I have money, when I am loved, when I succeed. But this is the mind's foolishness. Gratitude does not come as a reward. Gratitude is the root of happiness itself. It is the soil in which joy grows. In my own life, I began my mornings by noticing the smallest things, the breath flowing in and out, the warmth of the sun, the birds singing outside, the body that carried me through another day. I did not thank the universe for something spectacular, but simply for being here, awake, alive, breathing. And each morning, I discovered that the world appeared more beautiful, more full, more alive. Beloved ones, gratitude is a subtle alchemy. It transforms everything it touches. A person who practices gratitude does not complain. Complaints are born from unconsciousness, from the mind believing that life owes something. But when you are grateful, you no longer feel entitled. You feel abundance. You feel completeness. And in that completeness, happiness arises naturally. This practice is simple, but it requires attention. As soon as you wake up, before your mind is filled with worries and plans, notice something you can be thankful for. It can be your breath, a loved one, a roof over your head, or even the morning light. Do it slowly, sincerely, without hurry. Let the feeling settle in your heart. Let it fill your being. When you carry gratitude into the day, everything changes. Ordinary things shine with extraordinary beauty. Challenges are seen as opportunities. People are seen with compassion rather than irritation. Even your work becomes lighter, because your heart is no longer heavy with demands. I have told my disciples often, gratitude is not an act. It is a way of seeing. It is a way of living. When gratitude becomes natural, happiness follows, not as a distant goal, but as a natural state. And this is why mornings are so crucial. They set the tone. If you begin with thankfulness, the day unfolds effortlessly. Beloved ones, remember, do not wait for something to happen to be grateful. Do not wait for happiness to find you. Instead, create happiness by noticing life's smallest gifts. Gratitude is a seed. Plant it every morning, water it with awareness, and joy will bloom naturally. Even 5 minutes of genuine gratitude can transform your entire day. It will awaken a softness in your heart, a lightness in your step, and a smile that arises spontaneously. This is the magic of gratitude. Happiness begins when you see life as a gift, and gratitude is the key to opening that gift. Every morning, decide not to hurry, beloved ones. The fifth and final practice for happiness is perhaps the most difficult for the mind to accept. Every morning, decide not to hurry. Do not rush. Do not jump immediately into action, into schedules, into obligations. Decide consciously that the day will not control you. You will move through it with awareness and gentleness. Hurry is the disease of modern life. People believe that speed is efficiency, that rushing is necessary. But what they do not understand is that hurry destroys happiness. When you hurry, you live in the future, always chasing, never arriving. Your body becomes tense, your mind becomes restless, and joy, which is always in the present, cannot enter. I have lived long enough to observe this in myself and others. Even when surrounded by endless responsibilities, I learned to move slowly, deliberately, without urgency. When the mind is unhurried, the heart is calm. When the heart is calm, the whole world becomes softer, more beautiful, more alive. Deciding not to hurry does not mean becoming lazy. It does not mean avoiding work or responsibility. It means being present with each action, giving it your full attention. Eating, walking, speaking, even breathing, do it slowly, consciously, lovingly. This is a practice of mindfulness that transforms ordinary life into meditation. When you are unhurried, you notice things that are usually invisible. The sunlight falling on the floor, the warmth of a cup of tea, the sound of birds, the freshness of air, small miracles that are lost to the hurried mind. These simple experiences nourish the soul and create deep happiness. In my life, I observed that whenever I moved without hurry, even the most ordinary moments became extraordinary. Conversations became more meaningful, work became lighter, silence became sweeter, presence increased, and joy arose effortlessly, not dependent on anything outside, but born from a relaxed, attentive mind. Hurry is always the mind's attempt to control time, but time is life itself, and it cannot be controlled. When you stop rushing, you stop fighting existence. You allow life to unfold in its own rhythm. And when life flows naturally, happiness is inevitable. Beloved ones, notice carefully. Children never hurry. Birds never hurry. Nature itself moves in its own pace, neither slow nor fast, just perfectly balanced. Humans, in their unconsciousness, have created artificial urgency, and in that hurry they have lost the taste of living. But you can change this. You can begin again every morning. So tomorrow morning, wake up, and before you act, before you plan, take a deep breath and decide, today I will not hurry. Allow the moments to unfold. Walk slowly, breathe deeply, speak softly, live fully. Let happiness arise from presence, not from achievement. Happiness is not in racing towards something. It is in noticing life as it is, as it presents itself, as it moves, moment by moment. When you move without hurry, joy naturally flows. Life becomes gentle, the heart becomes soft, and you realize that happiness has always been waiting for you, right here, in the present moment.